How do you get from 0 to 10 paying users for your SaaS product? Why is this first stage the most important part of the life cycle of your software business? What are the methods you can use to get the first 10 customers? Why should you charge your first customers, and why do you have to avoid so-called hard customers? In this video you will get answers to all of these questions and much more. I will also show you how we got our first 10 users for our own products, SocialInsight and Opesta. And by the end of this video you will fully understand how to get your first 10 customers for your SaaS product. Plus, you will understand the true goals behind this initial stage of your SaaS, which are surprise, not profit, and not growing your business. So grab your coffee and let's begin. But before we start, who am I and why you should listen to me? I'm Vitaliy Podoba, former software engineer turned into tech startupper and software development agency owner. Since 2011, we helped over 200 entrepreneurs build and launch profitable SaaS and tech startups. Additionally, our agency successfully launched its own SaaS products, and in this video, I will tell you how we got our first 10 customers to our SaaS products, SocialInsight and Opesta. On my YouTube channel, I talk about launching profitable software and SaaS startups, so subscribe to learn more. 4 stages of every SaaS product growth. There are 4 stages of growing and marketing your SaaS business. Stage number 1, getting your first 10 customers. Stage number 2, growing from 10 to 100 customers. Stage number 3, scaling up to 1,000 paying customers. And stage number 4, growing past 1,000 users without any limits. Each stage has its own goals, channels, and methods to get paid users. And in the next videos, I will be explaining each of them separately. But in this video, I will focus on the first stage, getting your first 10 paying users. What is the goal behind getting your first 10 SaaS customers? When trying to grow past 100 or 1,000 customers for your SaaS product, your goals are more about revenue, high profit margins, scalability, automation, and maybe even brand awareness. But when you just start with 0 users, the goal of this stage is completely different. It's not about making money or profits, it's all about idea validation and finding your initial product market fit. You want to understand if there is market for your product and whether it solves a real problem for this market. This is the first stage of every SaaS product, and I would say it's one of the most important and most challenging parts. It will determine whether your product will survive. Ideally, you start working on this stage before you start building your product. And then you also keep working on validating your idea during the MVP development and also after its public release. But if you don't know how to pick a proper startup idea and how to validate it even before you launch it, here is my other video on the SaaS ideas generation and validation process. Go and check it out. Apart from market demand, there is a second big goal behind getting your first 10 SaaS customers. It's a learning process. All the tools and methods you will use to get those first 10 users will be mostly one-on-one conversations. This way, you will have direct access to your customers, so there will be a faster feedback loop. You will also be in a kind of accelerated learning mode. By the moment you get your first 10 paying users, you will learn much more than you will learn by getting from 10 to 100 users. At least that's how it worked for me with my products. At this stage, you start from scratch, no knowledge, no brand, no testimonials, nothing. So you will have to learn about how to change your product roadmap to adjust to customer needs, how to sell, how to make your users happy, and so on and on. So, how are the first 10 customers different from growing to 100 or 1,000 paying SaaS users? There are many differences, but I will emphasize one major difference that you need to accept. As Paul Graham said many years ago, you have to do things that don't scale. So what will be those things? Actually, you need to take 3 steps to get your first 10 users for your SaaS product. And those steps don't scale. Step number 1 to get your first 10 SaaS users is to leverage your phone book and personal network. These are people around you, people you already know, your friends, family members, colleagues, business partners, clients, and vendors. These people probably gave you this startup idea in the first place. Now, when you have the product to show, you must approach them again and sell it to them. On one-to-one conversations, of course. For example, back in 2017, when we were trying to get our first couple of users to SocialInsight, an Instagram analytics platform, we invited our friends, business owners, who were trying to grow on Instagram platform at that time. The other good example in our agency is that we recently released Buildwise, a construction management SaaS for our client from Canada. He didn't start putting up paid ads or doing content marketing. Instead, he showed his newly built software to his coaching clients, construction company owners. And now we are scaling the platform because it cannot keep up with users' growth. The second step to get your first 10 SaaS users is one-on-one cold outreach. After you maxed out your network and onboarded all your well-known people into your software, it's time for this second step. Now you have to try talking to people you don't know who might be a good fit for your SaaS product. It includes cold emails, LinkedIn messages, social media directs, cold calls, and so on. Your conversations with those strangers will be very similar to step 1. You will demo the product and try to determine whether it can solve their real problems. If you've never done it before and don't have enough sales experience, I highly recommend reading Neil Rackham's book Spin Sales. About a year ago, we built and launched an online marketplace for parents for our agency client in New York. These guys started by onboarding all of their friends with kids, and as a second step, they started going door to door, visiting local businesses that sell different activities for children. And now, with those two steps, these guys onboarded almost 200 users. They never did any paid ads or any other mass market strategies. Step number 3 to get your first 10 SaaS users is to leverage targeted communities and groups. If the previous two steps are insufficient, I usually suggest to my personal mentorship clients to further expand their business network. Sales are best done in one-to-one conversations. However, network development and marketing are best done in groups. So here's my formula for you. First, find online and offline groups, communities, meetups, conferences, business clubs, and other events that gather the people you need. Then, start being active there, get to know people, and add value to those communities. And finally, start one-to-one conversations with people from these communities who might be a good fit for your SaaS product. When we beta launched our product Opesta, we spread the news about it across multiple Facebook groups with our competitors and partners. Opesta was like a ManyChat chatbot platform, but niched for Shopify owners only. So we started to pull first users from ManyChat and Shopify-related online groups and communities. I'm pretty sure similar approach will work for your SaaS too. Now I want to share with you a few very important things while getting your first 10 software customers. Because without it, my 3 steps framework will not work for you. Avoid hard-to-get customers. There is no benefit in making your first SaaS customers so-called hard-to-get customers. It's true for your SaaS at any stage, but it's especially crucial for the early stages. That's why you should be looking for customers that A. intensively having a problem that your SaaS is trying to solve, B. willing to work with an early-stage startup, and C. are willing to pay to solve that problem. Don't get your mom's business to use your software unless she really needs it, okay? Otherwise, you will be very disappointed once you start talking to strangers. SaaS pricing to get your first 10 customers. One more thing that I strongly recommend when you're trying to grow from 0 to 10 paying SaaS users is to put a price tag on your product. Don't offer it for free. Yes, it will make your life a bit harder at the beginning because it's always easier for somebody to say, yes, I will try it, if it's free and low commitment. But it will play a bad game with you later on when you need to get more users on board. As I mentioned, getting your first 10 users is not about money. It's about validating your product and about market demand. Putting a price tag on your SaaS product will help you qualify users and ensure that people are saying yes to you only because they really need your product to solve their problems. And it's okay to underprice your product at first, but charge your first users at least something. That will also help you implement my previous advice: avoid hard-to-get customers. Grow with your high-value SaaS customers. This is the final thing that helped our product Opesta get its first 10 users and then 200 paying users. When you start getting your first customers, watch closely who they are and how they are using your software. And whenever they need something custom, a one-off request, don't be afraid to do things that don't scale. One or a few of your customers will help you shape your SaaS product so that it's useful for your future users. For example, when we launched our Facebook Messenger automation platform Opesta, we didn't make it for any particular business niche. It was kind of generic chatbot tool for any business that needs to automate customer support on its Facebook public page. But then we realized that many of our early users were Shopify store owners and that they used our software in a very specific way: to send automated reminders to abandoned shopping carts via Facebook Messenger. Thus, we pivoted to a chatbot platform for Shopify owners, and within the first short 2 months after the MVP release, we grew our Opesta to 200 paying users. Now let's summarize. To successfully complete the first stage of SaaS growth process and to attract your first 10 paying users, you must to validate your product and market demand. For this, you leverage your network, do one-to-one cold outreach, and if necessary, participate in targeted groups and communities. And while doing this, it's important to avoid hard-to-get customers, it's important to charge your first users, no free pricing tiers, and it's important to grow with your high-value customers. And if you follow all my advice from this video, I guarantee you will get your first 10 happy users within just couple weeks after initial release. Now, have you got your first 10 customers yet? Comment below. If you want to launch something but don't have an idea yet, here's my other video about specific SaaS ideas that are very hot on the market right now. Also, if you are interested in having my in-house developers build your SaaS product or maybe having me as a mentor, I will include a link to the application form below this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel to help me spread the word. See you in the next video where I will teach you how to get from 10 to 100 SaaS customers.